What if I told you that you can live the life of your dreams? Would you be like the 90% out there that believe, oh, that's not possible, life is meant to be hard, not everyone gets to follow their dreams, and only a select few who are special get to experience that? Well, I'm here to tell you otherwise because, my friend, I'm living the life of my dreams, and it wasn't possible without this one transformation I had to go through. Now, I'm going to share with you just as simple as shifting from one gear into the other that'll help you create your life of your dreams. And then I'm going to be sharing with you 3 tips, 3 ways that'll help you continue to build upon creating the life of your dreams every single day. And before you know it, you're going to see a clear delineation of before this tool and after. So what does it really all come down to? Let's zoom out for a second. Creating the life of our dreams doesn't just happen to us. It is a conscious daily effort of steering our ships in the ocean of life. Now, in my previous video, I talked about the levels of the mind. This is one of the many videos I've talked about the many levels of the mind because it's important. This is like humaning 101. We have to understand how the mind works, and also the heart, because both the mind and the heart are magnetic. And if we live in a vibrational field, which physics affirms, then the universe is constantly interacting with us vibrationally as well. This includes other people, other experiences, other beings, other creatures. Our reality as we know it is, in some respects, conceptually, let's just say, and abstractly, informed by this relationship. So if we live in a vibrational universe and our thoughts are magnetic and our heart is magnetic, then those are the captains of the ship, if you will. Now, I'm not saying that we, lead our minds by our mind alone, because that can, in some respects, if it's not checked, if it's not used in a very intentional manner, it can start steering you down routes that you didn't necessarily want to go down. But when you learn to harness the mind in the correct way, in the way that is most empowering for you, then you can create the life of your dreams. I can say this is true because I am more abundant, I am more vibrant. My dreams have actually come true, a lot of them in the last few years. And ever since I started doing this practice, switching into this mode that I'm going to share with you, I have successfully shifted my identity multiple times over. I have successfully earned the awards and recognitions I wanted. I have had the experiences I wanted and heart's desires. Now, this is not like a manifestation hack, just think positive thoughts. That's not just how the human experience works. But what it does help you do is dial into being a conscious creator. Let's talk about that. Okay, so the mind is actually what is running our lives for the most part. And the 90 to 95% level of the mind, think about that, 90 to 95% of our lives is run by the subconscious and unconscious levels of the mind. This is stuff that we are just simply not aware of. And that's okay, because the way that the human experience is meant to be is that we are meant to wake up and do life and be able to some degree, have conscious intention and desire, okay? But the rest of that stuff is all what has been programmed into us for efficiency's sake, if you ask me. We can't just wake up every single day in life and relearn how to human. That is not an effective way of living this human experience. So the way we are created is that our subconscious carries those tapes, all the programming. The unconscious is going to hold our trauma. And those two combine, we have patterns, behaviors, and beliefs, all shaped in here. And that dictates everything. That literally controls everything in our lives. This is like the whole movie script right here. And then we have 5 to 10%, just this teeny tiny sliver of the conscious level of the mind, voluntarily available to us at any given moment, present day or night. And the conscious level of the mind is super important because in this level of the mind, now we're suddenly aware. We are aware of what thoughts are coming up. We are aware of where our body, or the signals our body is telling us. We are aware of your, very perceptive of other energy. You can tap into that. You can move your awareness around. I've done some videos on how to channel. Like, that's all through the conscious level of the mind. Through the conscious level of the mind, we are present, and we have a bridge to the superconscious. Some experts talk about the superconscious, but basically this is where we have all our power, where we can stop We can be the director on set and blow the whistle and say, cut, cut this scene. We don't want any more of those thoughts. We don't want any more of these behaviors. Why is this happening? Through the conscious level of the mind, we can then begin to direct a new script. Those ruminating thoughts, we can close the loop on those because it's just looping, which is what the subconscious will do when it's trying to seek closure. The conscious level of the mind is when you are stepping into the driver's seat and you're saying, no, I don't want to go down this course pre-written for me, either by societal programming that I received when I was little, or through trauma that may be informing my behaviors, or through familial type of programming as you were growing up, just what kind of thoughts and beliefs that were ingrained inside of you. A lot of us can think of times when we had thoughts and beliefs that were like, where did this come from? I don't agree with this. I know for me, I encountered so many money blocks and unworthiness in my family lineage. And it took me a long time to rewrite that script, to rewire myself. I did that through conscious creator mode. But so that's more like broad strokes. Even more recently, in just the past year alone, and this practice keeps getting sharper and sharper and more, and like building on top of itself even more, I've been able to create the life of my dreams. I can truly say that what I'm embodying and living now was something that I worked on and consciously co-created as much as a year ago or even just a few months ago. Time and patience is a factor of this equation, but it's through the conscious creator mode, that we can begin to reshape our realities. So as I talked about the conscious level of mind, this is an area of the mind that is accessed through what? Through pure awareness, through presence, and mindfulness is kind of a component of that. Now, if you want to check out my last video where I talked about what mindfulness really is, I talk about how it's actually, the word in and of itself is kind of an oxymoron. As a mindfulness integration coach, to me, the practice of mindfulness actually has less to do with the mind and more to do with control. Now, we are trying to say, no, I don't want to. There's a lot of poor conditioning down here. Let's just call a spade what a spade here. We've probably all been subjected to poor conditioning that we probably wouldn't agree with now, like those money blocks and unworthiness that was ingrained in me by other people's thoughts and beliefs. That's just part of life, I think. And so when I identified those, I had to use my conscious level of mind to shut those down, to rewire, and to redirect just exactly who and what I am, to recreate the identity, the mold that I wish to be, not what other people have told me I need to be. Big difference. But it is possible, and it is through the conscious creator mode. So once you're in that presence, the next step is then to take your role and your responsibility as a conscious creator. This is power. This is like pure conscious creator, source creator power, where you can literally, from that moment forward, start a whole new script. And it may not be instantaneous, depending on how deep or how shallow that transformation may be. If we're talking about identity shifts, it's going to take a little bit of time. If we're talking about just stopping looping thoughts, that can be as instant as seconds. That's how powerful the conscious creator mode really is. Now, when it ties into creating the life of your dreams, there's no other way to achieve it than through conscious creation. Unless you were just so blessed with positive, empowering programming and flawless childhood free of trauma. I mean, I don't even think it's possible in the human experience. But needless to say, the whole human experience is malleable. We are like clay, and it takes the conscious creator mode, being in the conscious level of the mind, to dictate who and what we are, to say, okay, well, I've been this type of identity for a while, but really this is what I am, and this is who I am, and what I want to become, and what is really true and authentic to myself. What kind of life do I want to live? Well, I have been, always broke, and I have health problems, and I really want love. Well, creating the life of your dreams is as simple as shifting out of whatever programming and unconscious levels of mind that is informing those type of outcomes vibrationally, because you are operating 90-95% of your life from this space. I would encourage you to check out Bruce Lipton and all of his work on the subconscious. He's got lots of videos here on YouTube. Be happy to link that in the description box below, but he goes really into depth about this concept really helps bring it home. But that's why in this vibrational universe, if we are carrying around these thoughts and beliefs that maybe even be not in our own, but that was ingrained in us, it's still responding to that in our field, okay? So when you rewire your subconscious through the conscious creator mode, you're stepping into the driver's seat. The car is life, and the conscious level of the mind is like the steering wheel, stepping back into the driver's seat. The subconscious, all along, for 90 to 95% of your day, I guess we can just say, theoretically, what is on autopilot. So anytime you're just like automatically moving through life, you're operating through your subconscious. This is just how life efficiency works, so that we don't always have to relearn and retrain how to tie our shoes, how to drive a car, how to talk to people, how to be social and polite. We don't need to always do that every single day. We have it in our blueprints. We have it in our tapes. But for better or for worse, we have stuff in our subconscious that we want and that we don't want. So life is always, in my perspective as a mindfulness coach, a practice of auditing what is in there and rewiring, reprogramming what we don't want in there to what we do want. And we get there through mindfulness. There are many other modalities. Mindfulness is one of them. I love it because it's so accessible. You can do it in the morning, several times throughout the day, and really just anywhere at any time. You don't need to make an appointment necessarily. You don't need to find an expert necessarily. I'm going to share with you at the end of this video some of my mindfulness practices because they are linked to creating the life of your dreams as well. So the quickest way to creating the life of your dreams is through mindfulness, through getting out of the subconscious and unaware patterns, beliefs, etc., that you are carrying with you, that you are embodying, that you're living out day in, day out, and into the shifting gears into the conscious level of the mind, that presence, that awareness, then taking it one step further, and then from there, directing and affirming what you truly do want. Through doing this in many different respects, whether it's a full-on mindfulness practice or I call them like micro-mindfulness throughout the day, journaling and setting intentions and goals. These are all linked to creating the life of your dreams. And this works. Many experts agree, from Bruce Lipton to Joe Dispenza, even Mae McCarthy from the book. I'm going to talk more about this as part of one of my tips. And all the people that have come through her workshops, it's all mindfulness, and it all helps you steer the ship in the direction you actually want it to go in the ocean, rather than just following autopilot. Or in the other metaphor I offered, the car being life, and the autopilot is like the auto driving car that they have these days, and you're in the back seat. It's just driving you, set on a course, and you're like, okay, great. You're in the back, maybe doing your makeup or fiddling on your phone because you're busy. You've got to live a life. And then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, where are we? I didn't want to go here into this neighborhood. That's the subconscious. That will be a pure hallmark of when it is taking you down a street, a pattern, a circumstance in which you're like, I didn't think I put this into my life, but apparently it is there. Yes, you got it in there because through programming. So what choices do you have in that moment? You can step into the driver's seat, turn off autopilot, recourse, start driving it. No, I don't want to be in this neighborhood. I want to be over here in the richer neighborhood. I like that analogy because everyone loves money. Everyone wants money. I want to be in the richer neighborhood. This is where I want to be. I want a house like that. That is stepping into the conscious creator mode, into that driver. And now you're the navigator. You're telling your mind, this is where we are. This is where we are setting our course. We are rich. We are abundant. I have this beautiful house. And the more the mind hears that, the subconscious, even spoken out loud, because it's always listening to you verbally, even speaking it out loud, you're rewriting that tape in motion. The subconscious isn't like okay, the tank is filled, now it's over. It's constantly listening. It's constantly responding to you, because believe it or not, it does want to help you. Its function is to serve you and in your highest good, but it's objective. It's only operating from the programs and the files that's within all the tapes. Now, in that gigantic storehouse, it's your job to continue to audit and make sure what is in there is meant to be in there. And if you aren't living the life of your dreams, there's stuff in there that is stopping you, that is blocking you, or that is distorting your perception, that is opposite of what you do want. So now that you kind of understand the dynamics of what's going on in that conscious creator mode, which is where all your power is, where you can wield your source creator power to literally be limitless and do anything that you want. It may take some time. Some things are immediate, like I said, if you're just doing something like a micro transformation, quickly changing thought trajectories. Other things may take more time, like seeing dreams manifest. But when I started doing the conscious creator mode, I dramatically noticed a big difference in my life. Before that, I was just kind of like hoping and praying things would work out, like maybe. And then after conscious creator, I realized my spoken word and my affirmation, what is active in my field, is what is coming back to me. So I stepped fully, more courageously and boldly into that role and received that which I was asking for. Ever since incorporating the conscious creator mode, I can truly say I'm far more abundant and happy and vibrant, and have seen multiple of my dreams come true. For instance, I have an apparel line called Starseed, and I got to participate in a fashion show, which is way better than I could have ever dreamed. That was a big dream that happened in the last 8 months. And it's through the conscious creator mode that you can start to shape that new trajectory into the life of your dreams. Now that you understand the dynamics of how it kind of all works and really how to harness the conscious creator mode, here are 3 simple tips that'll help you along your way. Number 1, a tried and true practice. Whenever you're coming up against those negative thoughts and programming, or even when something fear-based triggers you and your knee-jerk reaction is to go, oh no, I hope that this negative thing doesn't happen, et cetera, just go back to the affirmation, or to the acronym ABBA. Always be affirming what you do want. Don't go, oh, well, this bad thing happened. Well, gee, I hope this other bad thing doesn't happen. I hope this other bad thing doesn't happen. Well, by using your conscious creator power, if your thoughts are magnetic, you might be welcoming a certain reality that could bring that into your existence. Not always, but when you wield the power of being a conscious creator, then, and affirming what you truly do want. Okay, I heard this negative thing. Well, what if it does actually turn out to be a good thing? What if there are solutions here beyond our comprehension right now that could actually serve the greater good of all? Phew, even just saying those things, I feel even more expansive than the fear-based, oh no. And even when you come against resistance, when you're dogging towards your goals and you're hoping those dreams come true, you will find some resistance meets you at certain points along the path. I don't think they're there to test you. I don't think the universe is quite like that, but it is kind of a residual of past thoughts and beliefs. And when you can meet those levels of resistance with continuing to affirm what you do want. Oh, I see this negative hurdle in front of my way. Well, from here on out, everything is going to be more smooth. Thank you for the lesson learned, et cetera, et cetera. So always be affirming what you do want. That's one of my first go-to tips. Very simple and easy. ABBA. The second one I want to draw you to is a book called The Path to Wealth. This is by Mae McCarthy. I'm not officially affiliated with her or anything, but it's called The 7 Spiritual Steps for Abundance. I've just always appreciated how this book shifted my perspective about money and how to go about it. And she has seven spiritual steps or practices and tips that you can include in your daily life. I can't say I abide by every single one of them every single day, but I have taken some that really resonated with me and deepened into my daily practice. For example, the journaling. And then she also has a lot of different tools in there and practices to anchor in your intention setting, your conscious creator mode. Just think about it like practices for your conscious creator mode to be on blast. You can get there quicker through that book. And finally, my third thing is daily mindfulness. Now, in the morning, I did a little short about this recently, but in the morning, imagine that God is asking you, what do you want today? What would you like? And just because 3 is such a magical number, there is only so much that our human minds can hold, and 3 is like the magical number. I would recommend at least saying 3 things, whether those are emotions you want to experience, goals, or your intentions. Answer those, and you will see that your life, day by day, unfolding is more in alignment with your dream life than ever before. I hope that these tips have helped. Please let me know in the comments below. And if you have any other requests for any other videos on mindfulness, thank you so much for being here and for supporting my channel and for sharing it with anyone who may benefit from it. Mwah. Thank you so much. See you in the next one.